The O-ring kit consists of the parts needed to repair common problems with your nail gun, and replaces the parts that commonly wear out with use. The kit will fix problems such as air leaking from the top or bottom of the gun, and most causes of a gun that won't fire. Rebuilding your nail gun is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how.
Hi, I'm Mark Socha.
Do-it-yourself repairs like these are easier than you might think. From lawn machines to cordless drills, kitchen mixers,
Outdoor grills.
our how-to videos walk you through each repair from start to finish. So doing it yourself means never having to do it alone.
Let's get started.
I'll begin by removing the nail gun's cap. Now remove the cylinder and piston. Now remove the magazine. Next, watch me remove the nose piece guard. And now remove the nose piece. As I remove the nose piece, I want to be careful I don't lose the safety spring. Next, I'll remove the trigger valve. To access the trigger valve, I'll need to remove the trigger and the safety linkage. Now remove the two pins that secure the trigger valve. With the pins removed, I can remove the valve. With the gun disassembled, now we can start rebuilding. The kit comes with an instruction sheet that helps to identify all of the parts. I'll start by laying out the parts so I know where everything goes. Each part is numbered, and that corresponds to its location in the gun. The first O-ring I'll replace is the one inside the trigger valve. The trigger valve is held together with two pins. I'll use my punch to remove them. The O-ring is on the valve stem. I'll use a pick to remove it. And I'll install the new O-ring. I'll apply some lube to the O-rings and then reassemble the valve. Now I'll reinstall the valve and secure it with the pins. And I'll reinstall the trigger and safety linkage. Next, I'll disconnect the piston from the feed pawl. I'll remove the rubber washer and the step pin. And I'll remove the piston from the cylinder. It's secured with a retaining ring. With the piston removed, I can remove and replace the piston O-ring. And again, I'll apply a little grease. As I install the piston into the cylinder, I need to make sure that the stem goes over the top of the feed pawl spring. I'll line the holes in the stem with the feed pawl and reinstall the step pin. I'll secure the step pin with the rubber washer. Now I'll reinstall the piston assembly. The spacer, spring, cap, and the retaining ring. Next, I'll replace the O-ring that seals the nose piece to the body. And the small O-ring for the piston feed. Now I can reinstall the nose piece to the body. I'll place the spring back in the trigger linkage, along with the plunger, and then the depth adjustment. And I'll re-secure the nose piece with the screws. And I'll replace the safety spring. Now watch me reinstall the nose piece cover and the magazine. Now I can rebuild the cylinder and piston assembly. I'll remove the piston from the cylinder, the spacer ring, the cylinder seal, check seal, the spacer O-rings, and the piston O-ring. And now I can install the new components. This is the check seal O-ring. The small spacer O-ring. Apply some grease to it. The large spacer O-ring. And more grease. I can reinstall the spacer. Now the piston O-ring. I'll apply grease to the O-ring, as well as some in the cylinder. And I'll install the new cylinder seal. Then I can insert the piston back into the cylinder. The last component we need to rebuild is the head valve. I'll remove the upper head valve housing and remove its O-ring. I'll remove the large O-ring from the head valve, as well as the small one, and install the new O-rings. As I reassemble, the smooth side of the upper head valve housing should go down towards the top of the cap. Then the spring and the head valve. And I'll finish up with reassembly. I'll install the cylinder and piston assembly, the cap seal, and the cap with the head valve. And secure everything with the screws and brackets. And that's how you can rebuild your nail gun with an O-ring kit. Be sure to check back often for new videos and expert advice. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up.
And leave a comment.